The shades are just not inclusive enough. These are all e.l.f. Cosmetics products. I'm gonna be doing a full face using all these products and determining which one's a hit and which one's a misses, and figuring out whether e.l.f. Cosmetics is really worth your money. Starting off with the skin, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Skin Moisturizer. This is a very hydrating moisturizer. I actually really love e.l.f. skincare products because they're actually very effective, but at the same time, very affordable, which we love. So I'm gonna apply about 3 pumps of this and apply it all over my skin. I love that this feels really hydrating and it doesn't make your skin look or feel really greasy. So I feel like this is a really good moisturizer to apply on your skin before makeup. And then next we're gonna go in with a primer, and I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. The reason why this one is my favorite is because it has niacinamide. It's also a gripping primer, so it really helps get your makeup to last on longer. So I normally like applying this on top of my moisturizer, and as you can see, I'm just patting this on my skin instead of rubbing it because it does have a very tacky and sticky feel. I do feel like this primer is worth it because it's really effective. So it helps your makeup last on longer because it helps to grip the foundation and all your complexion products to keep it on your skin so that it stays put. So I definitely feel like this, for the price, is definitely worth it. Now, before going in with foundation, I always like to mist my face with a good setting mist. This will help lock in the moisturizer and the primer. So to do that, I'm going to use the Hydrating Coconut Mist, and this is also by e.l.f. Skin. Now, I love this setting mist because it's extremely hydrating. It helps to refresh your skin before you put on your makeup, but it's also a really good setting mist to hydrate your skin during the process of applying makeup. So when you apply powder, sometimes your skin gets really dry, and this is a perfect product to help refresh your skin. e.l.f. recently launched a CC cream, which I'm all for CC cream and natural makeup looks, but today I want to go in with a full coverage makeup look. So we're going to use the Flawless Finish Foundation. This is more of a satin finish foundation, so it's going to give my skin more of a natural finish. The shade that I'm using is Cinnamon, which is deep with golden undertones. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend out the foundation with the Total Face Sponge. This is also by e.l.f. Cosmetics. I love this sponge because it really helps to give you more of a natural finish with your foundation because it's really easy to blend, and it helps to absorb excess product on your skin, and that eventually helps you avoid cakey foundation. As you can see, the foundation is really skin-like. I love that it has enough coverage. I only used 1.5 pumps, and as you can see, it's giving enough coverage, but it still leaves my skin looking like skin. The shade match is also pretty good. So for a drugstore foundation, I feel like this is a good one. The only thing I would say is they need a shade expansion because the shades are just not inclusive enough. I do feel like the foundation is really good. It's worth your money, but they do need a few more shades in order to have an inclusive shade range. This shade works for me, but I feel like the darker shades are just not enough for deeper and darker skin tones. But overall, the foundation, the finish, the price point, I definitely think it's worth it. For concealer, we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now, this is more of a full coverage concealer, which we love over here. The shade that I'm using is normally Deep Cinnamon. I really love hydrating concealers because they feel really comfortable under the eyes. And with this e.l.f. one, the fact that this is like $6 or $7 is just amazing because it's really comparable to a high-end concealer. It blends out really easily. You can go in with a shade that is 1 or 2 shades lighter in order to highlight under your eyes if you're looking for really bright under eyes, but I think this shade is just like the perfect shade to conceal darkness and to brighten up my under eyes at the same time. I mean, for $7, this concealer is for sure worth it. It's almost everything that I normally look for in a concealer. When it comes to contour, I sometimes like to use a cool toned bronzer to structure my face. So I'm gonna go in with the Putty Bronzer. This one is in the shade Sunkissed, has a little bit of a golden tone to it, and I just like to pick this up directly on the brush and just focus on my cheekbone structure while blending it upwards. And as you can see, this gives you more of a subtle contour. This is more of a light coverage product. It's not very pigmented. It can get a little bit oily, so if you're gonna use this product, I would recommend really setting it with some type of setting powder, or you can use a powder bronzer. So I'm also placing this on my forehead to help structure it as well. And this is also gonna add a little bit of warmth to your skin, especially after using the foundation and the concealer. As you can see, the bronzer does show up a little bit oily, and that would be the only thing I would say about this bronzer, is that it just has excess oils. But if you have dry skin, this bronzer works perfectly. I would just avoid applying this bronzer anywhere close to where your skin gets extremely oily, so avoid it around your T-zone. But I do feel like once you set it with setting powder, it really helps to set it in place and doesn't allow the oils to peek through your makeup. Now, they recently came out with the Camo Liquid Blushes. These are supposed to be high pigmented blushes that give such good color payoff. They come in 9 different shades, and I love that they have different shades that work for different undertones. I have warm undertones, but I do like pink blushes, so we're gonna go in with the pink ones. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Very Well and apply that on the highest points of my cheekbones, but I am gonna blend it out with a sponge, and I'm gonna use the same sponge that I used to blend out my foundation and concealer. I've already tried these blushes, and honestly, they remind me of the Rare Beauty blushes just because of their pigmentation. As you can see, this is giving pigment. Then I'm gonna use the side that I used for foundation to go over that blush, and this will help simmer down the blush if it's way too pigmented. I love these blushes. I feel like they're buildable. They're very affordable as well. I mean, they're only $7. I feel like these blushes can last for years. So I would definitely say these blushes are absolutely worth it. But I'm gonna apply a little bit of highlighter before I go in with setting powder, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. So this is supposed to be a blush, but honestly, this gives me more of a highlighter than it does a blush. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit on the highest points of my cheekbones, and I'm gonna blend it out really quick because I do know that these dry down pretty fast. As you can see, that helps add a little bit of sheen and glow to your makeup. I like doing this before using setting powder because when you apply this on top of setting powder, I feel like it gets patchy and doesn't blend easily. Now, I don't have an e.l.f. setting powder, so I'm gonna go in with my True and Trusted Black Opal setting powder. This one's also an affordable one. This is a finishing powder, and I'm gonna use this to set my concealer and use a little bit to also set my foundation to reduce the oiliness and the shininess on my skin. This powder will help absorb all the excess oils on your skin. As you can see, my skin is giving more of a natural finish. It's not too matte. You can still see the highlighter peeking through. It's giving more of a glowy finish. And I normally like using a powder puff because it helps to evenly distribute the powder all over my skin. So I went ahead and quickly just did my eyebrows and popped some lashes on. Quick update on the blush. These two products did not pair up well together on my skin. It might be different on everybody's skin, but I was getting a little bit of separation from the highlighter. This side looks good, but on this side I was getting a lot of separation, so I took the highlighter out and added a little bit of the blush. So I would say that the liquid blush is definitely worth it. It's easy to blend, easy to work with on your skin, but this highlighter is the one that I tend to find very complicated to use. It just depends on the foundation you're using, the concealer you're using, the type of powder you're using. So it can be a little bit complicated, which I would definitely say is not worth it. I would definitely say the liquid blushes are better. And then now for the lips, I'm gonna go ahead and use this nude lipstick. This is the Dirty Pillows lipstick. It's a beautiful nude shade. And then I'm gonna line my lips with Chestnut by MAC, which is the lip liner I use. I don't have an e.l.f. lip liner, so I'm just gonna use this one. And then on top of this lipstick, I'm gonna go ahead and add this lip oil. This is in the shade Rose Envy. I'm definitely feeling these two lip products together, the lipstick and the lip oil. They go on really smooth. The nude lipstick honestly feels like a high-end lipstick. I'm actually surprised that this is very affordable because the look, the feel of the lipstick just feels really nice and smooth, and the lip oil feels like the Dior lip oil. It smells really minty, and I feel like it pairs perfectly together with the lipstick. But there are a lot of other drugstore makeup brands that are just as good as high-end makeup brands, and that's why you really need to watch this video right here to discover makeup products that are affordable and just as good as high-end makeup.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.